Welcome back to our Charlottetown Islanders pregame show. Guesting with us, as always, on game day, the head coach and general manager of your Charlottetown Islanders, Jim Hulton, in our coach's interview. Jim, on the road tonight, TD Station in St. John, New Brunswick, to take on the Sea Dogs. Your first look at St. John this year, a team that has some talent, a younger team. What are your expectations here this evening?
Well, they have a lot of young talent. It's another team that's had a lot of high draft picks in the last couple of years, and case in point being the first overall pick in Alexi Joseph last year, who was a potential franchise player. So what they might lack in experience, they make up for in individual talent. So I think for us, the focus is on the team game here tonight, and we have to avoid it. It sounds like a broken record, but every night we don't want to get into track meet. I think we're at our best when we control the pace and we play a bit of grinding style. So that's going to be one of the big keys for us here this evening.
The schedule's kind of slowed down here a little bit for Charlottetown. It was two games at home last weekend, and probably two opposites of the spectrum. You go from Friday night, maybe your worst performance for your team of the year against Quebec, but a sign of a good team, as you've said numerous times, a bounce-back performance on Saturday.
Absolutely, and I think it was polar opposites for whatever reason. We weren't prepared for Quebec on Friday, and we laid an egg. And unfortunately, when you play 64, that happens occasionally. Nobody wants it, but it did. But I think they did a good job of, number one, learning from it, and number two, putting it behind them and coming out with a much better effort against a really good Drummondville club and a hard fought 4-3 win. And, that kind of springboarded us into a good week. I think when you win that last game of the weekend, the vibes are a lot better in practice. We had a really productive week of practice working on some things that we need to sharpen up on, and hopefully it proves out here this evening.
One of my first questions off air when we talk is the infirmary. The team's healthy here, knock on wood, but it makes for some timely decisions and options when it comes to lineup time.
Yes, it certainly does. The couple days off and then the slowing down of the schedule has helped. We had Brady Peddle back tonight. Brady was nursing kind of a minor upper body injury. They wanted to make sure that we took our time with. Same thing with Anthony Flanagan. He blocked a shot in Friday night's game. Couldn't get the skate on Saturday, but the swelling has gone down and it was just a bruise, so he's able to go tonight. So lots of different lineup decisions, and I think healthy lineup competition is good for all teams, and in particular ours. So we look forward to trying to put our best foot forward here.
Our Fundy Agriculture Services, the first intermission guest, is Owen Conrad. In his third year here in Charlottetown, I think it's every kid's, dream to get drafted to the NHL. But as you know, and we all know, that's only step one, and many have made it without reaching that first step. And it was probably a bit of a letdown. I'm sure it was. And, Owen said, was disappointed, but he got right back to the gym, he said, the next day. And what have you seen from him? Because you've had him for 2.5 years here now, or going on 2.5 years. And you've seen many players get disappointed come draft day, but he's got a bit of a fire in his belly this year, and he's coming off a career game this season on Saturday night.
Well, I think for Owen, you're continuing to see growth and maturation, both as a person and as a player. And, he has a good demeanor in terms of being able to handle the setback of not being drafted, because he's very calm. He doesn't ride the wave of emotion like a lot of teenagers do. He's never too high, never too low. And I think that probably helped him navigate the emotions around not getting drafted. And as we're all reminded of, it's only one day. It's a really big day, and it's a really important day. But, a lot of recent examples, even within our own organization. Look at Patty Gay, who was drafted in 19, Hunter Drew, guys who have gone on and had good careers that were an afterthought in their draft year. So it's really how you handle that setback. And I thought he's come back, and he's fitter, he's leaner. I think he's a little bit quicker. What he does really well is he moves the puck well. He's become a really, really good penalty killer. And, he's rounded into an extremely good junior player. And then the next step is for him to push it up to another level to become a pro.
And sometimes we forget, still 18 years old.
Yes, exactly. It's easy. We take him for granted. I think everybody overlooks what he does, and everybody, in particular for the next level, all he hears what he can't do. Yeah, well, I keep emphasizing what he can do. And one of the things that, it's any NHL scout and NHL coach, one thing they want their defenseman to do is get the puck out of their own end. And when I think of Owen's strengths, I think of his vision on the breakouts and ability to make that breakout pass. So someone else's loss is our gain, and we're pretty happy to have him.
As always, Jim, thanks for this, and best of luck here tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That's Jim Hulton, head coach and general manager of your Charlottetown Islanders. And our coach's interview will be back on the other side of the break with our Jameson Electric starting lineup. You're listening to Mr. Lubin Tire, Charlottetown Islanders hockey on Max 93.1. Welcome back to our first intermission. Guesting with us, our Fundy Agriculture Services first intermission guest. It's Islanders 18-year-old defenseman Owen Conrad joining us here in our first intermission. First of all, Owen, for yourself, coming off a big game against Drummondville on Saturday night, a goal and 2 assists. You're hot here right now, and a big part of this team 5 points in your last 5 games, 7 points in your last 10. I know you're not a big stats guy, but obviously feels pretty good getting your first of the season and adding a couple of helpers to go along with it.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely good to see the first one go in for the year, but no, yeah, it's been good. Things have been just clicking right now for me and the team, so no, it's been good.
For yourself, I mean, it's a progression, right, and a maturity in this league. At 16, it's not a very easy league to play in, let alone defend in. 17, now 18. Are you starting to become more and more comfortable with your surroundings as you mature in age?
Yeah, I believe so. It gets a bit easier as you get older. You get more experience, you get stronger, stuff like that, and you can learn the game a bit faster here. So no, it's been good to kind of grow and mature, and obviously that goes credit to the coaches too. They've helped me along the way, so it's been good.
For yourself, I mean, everybody's dream, I think most, is to get drafted to the NHL. You went through that process last year. You were a prospect. You've been a kid that's always been watched, always been one of the best amongst its peers. Take us through that process of sitting, maybe watching the draft. Where were you that day? And you know what? You're not the first kid to get passed on, but what kind of fire that kind of lit underneath you?
Yeah, so I was back at home just watching it with a couple friends and some family. It was obviously a disappointing night. Didn't get my name called. It was really disappointing. Was a bit of a struggle, but yeah, no, it's I took that. I didn't go down on myself. I didn't just hang my head. Very next day, I was at the gym. I was skiing. I was trying to get myself better and prove everyone wrong, and like give them a reason to uh to think, why didn't that guy get drafted? So no, that's the way I kind of looked at it. There's no need to hang my head. So yeah.
And the opportunity that comes along with Toronto. I know they really liked you leading up to the draft process. It's funny how drafts kind of pan out, but you know what? They jumped in you with that opportunity. Take us through that process and what that experience was like for yourself.
No, obviously, all the experience with Toronto was great for me. Starting with their development camp, I got that email the next morning from the draft, so that was that was pretty exciting to get. My cheered my parents up a little bit, but no, it was great. They're obviously a world class organization, and I'm very thankful for what they did for me, bringing me in. And no, it was good all the way through until I left during the camp. A great experience, but yeah.
In training camp, I mean, they held on to you more longer than a lot of undrafted players, and I think that raised a few eyebrows. They took a long look, and contracts are certainly at a minimum, but I'm sure that was mulling through them. What was the feedback you got from Toronto, and obviously the thrill of playing an NHL exhibition game?
Yeah, kind of the feedback I got from them, they obviously said to me that they wanted to take a long look at me. What they were kind of looking for was just play a consistent game and all that. So that's been something I've kind of been working on, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, the overall consensus was just they like my game. They want me to be a bit more consistent in some areas and stuff like that. But no, overall, pretty impressed. And with the exhibition game at Bell Center, I played in the rookie tournament. That was a great experience for me. It was a sold out crowd there in Montreal, obviously Toronto, Montreal. But that was great. That was a lot of fun, and yeah.
The first thing I noticed when you got back to Charlottetown, one, besides you had a great summer. Two, it was the physical aspect of your game. You've always been big and strong, but it looked like you're taking it to the next level. Is that something that you're trying to work on because you're manhandling guys out there and asserting yourself with physical play?
Yeah, it is for sure. I kind of had a goal this summer to get a lot stronger in the gym, and obviously that translates to the ice. So I owe that a lot to like my trainer and stuff like that. He put me on a good program, but yeah, that was a goal of mine over the summer, and I think it's panned out pretty well.
Owen Conrad joining us here in our first intermission. This team this year off to a hot start. It's kind of been up and down. What's been the message in the dressing room, and what have you seen here from this squad 20 games in?
Yeah, no, I'm obviously start of the year was great for us. A lot of things were clicking early for us. A lot of bounces were going our way, but as season's gone on, we're not going to get all the bounces anymore. So it's kind of just a bit about us and our locker room and stuff like that. Stuff we've been talking about. Stick to things that we're good at and stick to our kind of game plan. So no, it's been the kind of word around the locker room and stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, Owen, you certainly been a rock on that back end. Really enjoy watching you develop. Congratulations on the success you've had with the Maple Leafs organization so far. I know there's lots of teams still watching, and there's still offers that are going to be coming your way. Best of luck this weekend, and thanks for your time here once again.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's been good.
That's Owen Conrad, Islanders defenseman, joining us in our first intermission. Our Fundy Agriculture Services first intermission guest. We'll be back on the other side of the break with our Murphy's Pharmacy out of town scoreboard. You're listening to Mr. Lubin Tire, Charlottetown Islanders hockey on Max 93.1.